Hey team, Coach Brian here, and in today's huddle, I wanted to connect with you all and really start with a level of gratitude and thanks. We have just reached, as a community, 12 years of service here at FNS Training Center, which is absolutely crazy to me. I can remember not just the first time that we got the keys to the building, when we started off in 1.0, but I can think where this really started almost 20 years ago in a parking lot, which we called Junkyard Gym at the time. We're outside just lifting tires and pallets and getting creative, and it was in that moment that was the inspiration for really what is now FNS. It was really about creating this team-like environment, and it's always such a nostalgic week for me. So many things within this week are so important to me. I remember it was almost 11 years ago. On our anniversary, I got a call. I'm coaching class, middle of class. Coach runs in, you got to go to the hospital. Your daughter's being born. And so I remember leaving class. It's the only time I've ever left in the middle of the class ever in my coaching career to go to the hospital. And my daughter was born with the same exact birth date as FNS. And so she was about 10 days early. And I was always thinking, my gosh, wouldn't that be so cool? Like when my wife was pregnant, if they were born on the same day. And there's only a challenge with that because sometimes I'm splitting hairs between the two. But it's such an amazing time this week for me, reflecting about all the things that I remember I used to think about before I opened up a facility, where I would be at in my career, all the things that I've done. And it's something really powerful hit me the other day when I was listening to Mentor, which is something that I fall into, and I know I'd fallen into back in the past, is this kind of trap of when we say one day when, right? Like one day when I have my own gym, one day when I'm an owner, one day when I get into this relationship, one day when I achieve, one day when. It's such a trap at times, right? If we just are always thinking from the one day when standpoint. And I remember it was really important when I was first getting started was, and as he phrased it, shifting that, I wasn't able to articulate it then as I've learned it now, but it's shifting that mentality of the one day wins, shift that into the one day wins. And when I look at 12 years of the service, the impact, the opportunity to make such a big change in our athletes' lives as they've made in my life and our life as an organization, it's a culmination of a lot of one day wins. And that's really what training is all about, right? As we continue to grow and we continue to bring new things in, as a facility enhances programming, all this type technology, all of these things, it's really comes with the stacking of one day wins. And I think that's what I really look back on in this and have so much gratitude for, so much thanks for, is in this whole journey. You know, a lot of times people see an overnight success is really 10 years, 20 years, 15 years of hard work, but they didn't see all of those things. And, you know, we've been through so much stuff. You know, typically I give a little speech after class on the day of or in that week of, but today I really wanted just to take a few more moments and minutes to share with you guys and connect with you guys and more than ever, share such a deep level of gratitude, because there's so many of our athletes who have not only been here from day one of when we opened and know what it was like when we started in a small space with classes, packing that in with a lot of people. But there's a lot of athletes who started with us before we even had this physical location. And for that, I am eternally grateful for the support, the love that you've given. It's not just me, it's this mission of what we stand for, of trying to create generational health for people's lives and their friends and family. But we've been through so many things, from having this in 2012, opening up, to expanding in 2014, 15 into next door, which is a whole new list of challenges, be it with the city in terms of dynamics, culture. There's so many changes that go through. And then obviously the huge one that we went through a couple years ago with COVID, the pandemic, being outside, training, it's pouring rain, it's freezing cold, and we're out there in tents and we're all figuring it out as a community. And to, you know, where we're at today, I think continuing to grow, continuing to adapt with technology, with where people's lives are at, from working at home, so many things constantly changing. And what I'm so appreciative of is our ability as a community to really do three things all the time, is our ability to assess the situation, see what's going on, what's working for us, what's not working for us. Having that level of feedback and communication with everybody is huge. The second thing is the ability to adapt. I think that's the hard part at times, right? Like when we say to ourselves, but I like things the old way, or this is the way we always used to do it. That's tradition. I've always felt was just really too lazy to innovate and do something different, right? It's just saying, oh, that's tradition, that's the way we do things. But that doesn't allow us to evolve and to grow. And that's really what adapting is. It forces us to change, and change is hard. Sometimes we don't want to change. Heck, there's so many times where I'm in a situation where it's like, I don't want to change. It's going to require effort. That's going to require a lot of work, a new process, new systems. But in every situation in my life where I've been focused on wanting to grow, change is necessary. And that's such a huge part of adapting. And coming in that with the right mentality and positivity is essential if we want to grow to whatever next level. And then that third level is attack. That third A for us is the ability to attack. Okay, we've assessed the situation. We've adapted where we needed to adapt. And now we attack. But what really makes us a team here at FNS with every single person, I'm talking about staff, I'm talking about our athletes, is that we attack together. We attack with one team, one effort, with that level of support, inclusivity, having each other's back. That is what I am probably the most proud of, is that we've created something more powerful than just a place where people lose weight, lose some body fat, and gain some muscle. It's deeper than that. We've had a chance to strengthen our character. What I've seen in 12 years here at just this location, being in the industry for almost 2 decades, but here at FNS is I've seen over a dozen marriages of people who have met through FNS, and then they've had kids. I mean, we're talking about that's generational health right there. And then those kids grow up and they train here at the facility, and then we've seen those kids not only train here, work here, and then go on to have their own lives. It's moments like that I'm the most proud of, that bring me the most fulfillment, the most joy, is that we're truly a team. We're truly bonded by this level of character, of values, of an ethos, of wanting to make each other better every single day. And that is such a hard thing to do, and I commend our coaches so much and our staff and you as a community to protect that safe space for people, because in the fitness industry, it's not always a safe space. It's uncomfortable, it's scary, it's intimidating. It doesn't always feel as inclusive. That's just kind of the rap that we have in this industry. And I feel that at times when I go to other places, when I go to different gyms or places that I don't know the culture, it feels like a new kid walking into a new school and you don't know the dynamics of how it works. But that culture for us of empathy, inclusivity, support, no ego, equalizing everybody with the title athlete is something that I think is very hard to do at times, especially when we've gotten challenges, resistance, people want to do it a certain way. But sticking to our guns in terms of who we are, what we stand for, and the mission that we're truly on. And so, these are the things as we constantly grow through together. The conversations that I've had with so many of you guys who are having major moments in life, whether it's in your job, getting a promotion, traveling, something epic, getting married, having kids, to death, to divorce, to depression. We've seen it all, and we're going to continue to see more and more and more things. And the stronger that we are as a community, the stronger that we are as a team, will allow us to get through anything together. And so as we head into this new year, I want to give you just a little bit of clarity of where my head is at as we go into 2024. I've learned so many things throughout the course of not just 12 years of running this business, but again, almost 2 decades of being in the industry. So I've seen a lot of things come, go, stick, what works, what's just kind of a fad. And so for me, this next level in 2024 is an exciting one, because we talk about it a lot. We talk about more isn't better, better is better. And that's one thing that I really want us to get back to, that level of simplification. I think sometimes when we overtrack certain things, we can distract ourselves, right? I'm tracking this and I'm doing this, I'm tracking my sleep, and then this was off and I'm tracking my calories, I'm doing this, and we can lose sight of the main things. And the main things are the main things, which are performance pillars, right? It's making sure that our goals are set. We've got the right mindset. We're sleeping properly. Our nutrition is dialed in. Our training is dialed in. Our recovery is dialed in. And we're surrounded by good humans. That's a huge piece for me, is that level of our community, of making sure that not just our staff, we have the right people on board, but our athletes as well. Are people going to be supporting each other? Are they promoting each other? Not allowing any toxic type behavior, gossiping, negativity is going to be extremely important to protect that as we continue to grow. But where I look at this next phase for us and myself is really in 2024 providing such higher level of education. I want to show up for you guys even more in 2024, be it through education, huddle talks like this, providing new insight, resources, so that we can all enhance every single one of those performance pillars in our life. And I think that's an area when I look back and say, hey, what could I have done more of? More consistent with the education side of things. So workshops, there's a lot of things that we want to be bringing in to 2024 so that we can enhance it. There are going to be facility enhancements, there's going to be equipment enhancements, there's going to be certain things that we're going to do with programming. That's all well and good. But if we don't know how and why those things matter, then they don't matter at all. Because that's the most important part, is understanding the why behind, the purpose behind any new thing that we bring in. And so that education is going to be a huge part. When it comes to the training side of stuff, strength is going to be a big focus for us in 2024. And really getting people to understand that aspect through education and through training, the benefits of even more strength training. So we've got a good percentage of it in class right now, but really want to just maximize from an education standpoint and from an application standpoint, the strength side of our training. Recovery is going to be a big one. We brought in the supercharger last year. We're going to be giving a lot more people access to that through trials, through experiencing it, because it is such a huge piece, that along with the recovery room. So there's a huge piece when it comes to those levels of training, nutrition, recovery. But the overall thing that I think I'm most excited about in 2024 is really focusing more on longevity with our program and with our education. You know, I've been going through a journey myself over the last probably 18 months now, getting my blood work done outside of just the hospital, the doctor, and by really getting more biomarkers, 50 to 70 biomarkers, looking at hormones, all this type of stuff. I've been really, really dialed in on this over the last 18 months. And this is something with my vision in terms of what I want to bring in to FNS. And I think this is the future. I think this is the future of the health and wellness space, which will be much more integrated to the mainstream general population facilities, much like ourselves. That's not just for these exclusive elite type of labs that people have gone to in the past. And so my vision for 2024 is that people are taking much more of an extensive look into their health. The weight loss is great. The body fat is great. It's great that we have those tools. But I want to go even deeper. I want people to have even more awareness of what's going on inside their body through their blood work and seeing this type of stuff. And so this is something that I'm working on for us, that we have access to this, looking at different companies and organizations that we can come in and have this accessible. And we were able to retest this every 6 months so we can get a good understanding. You know, the fact that we're training this hard, that we're doing this type of stuff, it's important that we understand what our true health is. And we can oftentimes mistake someone for being in really good shape because they got a six-pack or their muscles are jacked, but that doesn't always mean what's going on under the hood is really healthy. And so that's exciting for me to bring that level in for us this year through the resources, through the education and application of how we're going to do that. But I just wanted to take a moment to, more than a moment, a couple minutes here. I'm glad I get a chance through this platform now to be a little bit more extensive with my words and then give you guys a little bit more update in terms of where my head is at for our organization and what we're trying to focus on how to serve you all that much better. But I know that we have not peaked yet. I know that we're not even close yet. And 12 years in, now in my 40s, I feel like I'm 20 years old still physically, but now just with a heck of a lot more wisdom and experience and getting my face kicked in more times than I would have liked throughout this journey. But it's all humbling and it all teaches me the lessons that I need that are going to help us get to the next level. And so I have so much gratitude, so much thanks for every single day that I get a chance to wake up and an opportunity to serve all of you. I know that you have so many options of where you can go, where you can train, and the fact that you trust our team to serve you all, support you all, it means the world to me. And I promise you that we are going to continue to get better. Our best is yet to come. And we're going to fight relentlessly to figure out all of those things in the process through trials, tribulations, and see what works through the feedback. So we celebrate 12 years together. Some people have been here 12 days. Some people have been here 12 minutes. Some people have been here through the whole 12 years and beyond. To all of those, I say thank you and I love you. I appreciate you. And I promise you, we're going to keep getting better and better and better because that is what you deserve. So as we say, our best is yet to come. Let's keep thriving. Let's keep growing. And let's keep creating the most epic training facility and team on the planet. Thank you, squad.